Do not build these characters. They are trash and they have very little hope of getting reworked. I'm counting down to top 10 with my brother OhEmGee. And if you're ready for these list of characters to not build, guys, no matter what, OhEmGee, tell them what to do.
It's trash.
ValleyFlyin.
Yo, what is up, Valley Maniacs? I am ValleyFlyin, and I am joined by my brother OhEmGee. What is up, my friend?
What's up, my guy?
Are you ready to talk about some trash characters that you do not build under any circumstances in Marvel Strike Force right now?
Right. I mean, I'm curious to see how your list is different than my list. We just went over my list, and you hadn't seen my list, and I hadn't seen your list, so you already saw mine. So I wonder how much variance there is.
There's gonna be some variance, and now we talked about characters do not build, but we didn't really give criteria. Now your list was just based on the characters. Mine, I was thinking of these characters. They're probably not gonna get reworked anytime soon. There may be a couple exceptions here, but let's just get into it, guys. Yeah. So Hand, they're not on this list. Ravagers, they're not on this list because I expect them to get their reworks sometime in 2021. Yeah. So that is why they're not on this list. But they're bad. But everyone in that whole faction is bad. Don't build up Ravagers. Don't build up the Hand. But they may be getting reworked, which is why they're not on this list. But let's get on to see who is on this list and see if there's any difference from your list. Boom! First character, Mercenary Sniper. Oh, bad character. One of the worst in the game, in my opinion, and one of the reasons that he is on this list, because he does have some value on a Merc team. If you don't run this Wakandan variant on it, if there's other characters, Korath, that are on other teams, he could be one of the best characters on this team. But not for me. And he already got his rework, and very little chance of him getting another rework, possibly ever. So don't invest too much in Merc Sniper, especially if you're using a hybrid Merc team. What are your thoughts on Merc Sniper? You also had him on your list.
Yeah, he was on my list. Easily one of the worst characters in the game, with also little to no upside of them being another rework or possibility of them being on a team that's useful anywhere. Him and his brother. I'm guessing his brother's on here too, right? His brother's on there. Yeah, we'll get to that, right? But yeah, there's two of them, right? And this is a character that you absolutely cry if you pull high red stars. Well, maybe more so. I guess maybe you could. Like if you did get a 7 red.
As a newer player, this isn't the worst character to build, because maybe you don't have Shuri to put on the Merc team. Maybe you don't have Killmonger to put on the Merc team. But as soon as you get those characters, you're not using them at all.
If you had a 7 red version of this, you could probably make it work on the Taskmaster team, but a Soldier would be even worse than this, I think. Soldier, I think, is even...
Yeah, these are in no particular order, guys. Let's move on.
Yeah.
And yes, you called it right. It is his brother with slightly more collection power than him. 6 red stars, and he's still only 13k power, because that is how bad he is. Even with these 6 red stars, guys, I have not built him up except for a trash team in Blitz. So this is a perfect example. Do not build every single character you get high red stars on. They're not all worth it. And this is worth even less.
Not good. This guy is not good. Yeah, they're both of them in the same category because they've already had a rework. Yeah. And what are you going to do with them?
Cry when you pull these 6 stars on him. Obviously, I did not purchase this in a store.
Right.
But when you talk about crying, yeah, this is one. I was like super excited. It's Merc Sniper. Merc Soldier.
Yeah, not good. Merc Sniper and Merc Soldier, both of them. Yeah, absolutely not good. Not good.
Not good. This whole faction, they already got their rework and probably not getting anything else other than Taskmaster and Riot Guard and Lieutenant. Not much here, and maybe some other characters that you're using on other teams. But yeah, and I don't think there needs to be anything else said about these mercs. Let's move on. A.I.M.INFECTOR. This is another character that you had on your list, so a lot of similarities so far, but it's gonna get a little more variance. Just like the sniper, just like the mercs. A.I.M already had their rework. There are a lot of minions on his team, so very little chance of them getting another rework. And I don't really use this guy. This guy was not on any of my variants of A.I.M. Nope. I did not like his kit. I know some people use him with success, but not for me. And I see very little value in building up this team, especially because I'm hardly even using A.I.M anymore.
I'm not using
or AIM-Tron at all. So yeah, even less.
like a C team. It's like my 12th team or something right now for offense. Not even like you know how like you need like 8 defensive teams and maybe 12 offensive teams, maybe, right? Unlikely, right?
Yeah.
This is like my 12th team easily. He's not even in my 12th team. AIM is my 12th team. He's not even. That's why he's trash. He's not good. He's not worth upgrading. He's not good. You're not going to play him. Not even as a sixth AIM. There's other choices.
Yeah, he even when I was using AIM all over the place, he never made the cut. I never invested in his character.
Monstrosity's better. Yeah, there's just so many better versions. Yeah,
I like Monstrosity. Yeah. Monstrosity was my favorite, even before the red stars got pulled. This guy, KREE Oracle. This guy never was a fan of. He does regenerations. He doesn't give any active healing or any real healing. He gives all regeneration, so it means you got to wait a turn, which means you could die before you actually get the healing benefits from him. And he's a part of that KREE. He is a minion. Yes, he can unlock Nick Fury if you're really desperate in farming him, but KREE got a rework. And they're unlikely to get another rework, and this is my least favorite KREE minion. What are your thoughts on him? I mean, there is a little bit of value for unlocking Nick Fury, but other than that, I do not like this character at all. What are your thoughts on KREE?
I just want to put this out here. This KREE factions, there's some people that really are into the KREE faction, and they you know what I'm talking about, right? And I just no. All of it. You know what I mean? We're talking about people that like build these really turn order specific Ultimus teams using Korath and Ultimus and various KREE. I don't get it. The whole faction in general for me.
Yeah, so this is a character that you might want to put some stars on, but do not invest resource in building him up. The rest of your KREE can get you through that Nick Fury if you don't have him unlocked. And as soon as you get Nick Fury, I don't see a lot of reason to invest in KREE. I mean, you said there's some people that like the KREE. I'm not one of them. I'm not one of them. I think they're trash.
I didn't even touch it because this is one of them that I don't think ever gets used even in their build. So
yeah. All right. So yeah, KREE is not very good for me.
I should put this guy on my list. Yeah, I didn't fit it. All right,
Bullseye, another mercenary. The mercenary is not getting too much love, and I think a lot of that for me is because Shuri and Killmonger are on the preferred merc team for me. So Bullseye, I use this guy with the mercs on Blitz, but I could use anybody with Taskmaster, Riot Guard, and Lieutenant, and they'll still be good. You could plug in pretty much whatever merc. And he's a named character that just is not very good, even with his rework for that Merca faction. So I don't know if he's gonna get another one. I don't know if he's popular enough to get a rework after he's already gotten a rework. What are your thoughts on Bullseye?
Well, there was a time where people were using like Korath and Bullseye on that Merc team. The Merc team, clearly is without a doubt going to be Taskmaster, Merc, Riot Guard, Merc Lieutenant, right? And then it just seemed a lot easier just to do Killmonger and Shuri because most people had Shuri very well developed, and it just saved resources and not having to upgrade Bullseye and Korath. I just didn't even bother and just totally skipped over this guy altogether. Like it just was little to no interest in this guy at all.
I put him to tier 9. That is way too much. Don't build your Bullseyes to tier 9. This is too much investment. I could put these resources on a character that I'm using more often. The Bullseye is bad. Don't invest in Bullseye unless kind of like that sniper. You have no other options for the Merc team and you need to round it out. Bullseye.
I think you have to have high red stars too to justify that. I mean, if you happen to have like a 7 red or something, yeah, maybe,
but not for me.
No, maybe. Yeah.
All right, AIM Researcher. This is another character. I was super happy when I was looking at these red stars, and then I almost cried. Oh, it's AIM Researcher, and the game was almost telling me like I needed to build up my AIM team, but I just got to tier 10 or her to tier 10, and just never really built her since then because Monstrosity is on my preferred Merc team. So
is that because you have a 7? Don't you have like a 7 red Monstrosity?
I did, but he was on my preferred Merc team before, my preferred AIM team, even before I pulled all these red stars for AIM.
See, I had like a 2 or 3 red star Monstrosity, and I always thought he was just so slow. I just skipped him. Now when I was doing Ultron on that AIM team, I dropped her for Ultron. So it was, definitely definitely the weakest of the AIM is, the ones that we've mentioned right here, right now.
Yeah, I think, Scientist Supreme, Graviton, AIM Security are the three that are in every AIM team. So if you have, Assaulter's on there as well, Security is on there, and then Ultron goes on that team. So whoever you're using as your fifth, Monstrosity, Researcher, if you're someone that uses Infector, that's the one that's going to be dropped for Ultron if you're using Aimtron, but that's not even a team I use anymore, so.
Nope, it's not even it's not a very good team right now. I mean, it's okay. But
it's a counter to Asgardians, and there's a lot that counter Asgardians nowadays.
Asgardians have fell off a cliff now with symbiotes for sure.
Yeah. All right, so AIM Researcher, as you can see, I did not invest too much in AIM Researcher. All right, Green Goblin. I don't even know where to use this guy. He has some value, but he's not great on the. He's not going to fit on symbiotes. He's not on the main Sinister Six team. I don't use him on another Spider-Verse team. Where are you using your Green Goblin now? Do you have any use for your Green Goblin?
No, I used him to unlock Shuri, Invisible Woman. So that's the value of Green Goblin, is for someone new in the game wanting to unlock Shuri, Invisible Woman. Other than that, I don't use them. Yeah,
so get the stars on Green Goblin, but don't build them up to tier 9 like I did. You could build up the other characters that you have more use for in the game.
I do like his passive on a Spider-Verse team because it clears away the positive effects, but it seems like it was dependent on his focus, and it didn't really work as often as I liked.
Yeah, he has a good passive. His kit is okay, actually, but it's just I have no use for him.
I'm gonna put this guy on my list, by the way. I always liked him, but you're right. I don't have a place for him. Yeah. I don't use him, but I do like him. This is what I'm conflicted about, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I mean, this he's not here for the kit. He's here because I have no use for him as a
Don't you like it when he burns people? That's the best. He jumps up in the air and burns people. It's awesome.
Again, it is awesome, but I have no use for him. I have no use for Green Goblin right now. I don't even know if he's on a trash team at this point. So, he's not on a Sinister Six. He's not on Spider-Verse. Nowhere to use him. So that's why I'm suggesting this character. But I know this one can be a little controversial because his kit is not that bad, especially that passive, like you mentioned. This does a lot of damage as well. But for me, trash. Let's move on. We're gonna get even more controversial. KREE Reaper. Now this is the biggest or the second biggest minion that I had for the KREE faction, and again, you could unlock Fury with him. So get the stars, get the gold stars on Reaper. But other than that, you do not need to build this character very much.
The problem with Nick Fury right now is that Nick Fury is not that exciting too.
Yeah, war defense, and I guess there's some hybrid teams that you mentioned on your videos that you could use Nick Fury on and make him a little better. But
that's not what Nick Fury was 2 years ago. Oh. Not at all. Nick Fury's definitely fallen off for sure.
Yeah, so KREE Reaper, I think, other than Oracle, is the second worst minion on the KREE faction. What do you feel about Reaper and the value on that KREE minion team?
I don't like the KREE faction in general, so here's the thing is they're used in some of the Greek raids, and that's about it. And you unlock Nick Fury, and that's about it. But there's other options.
But not the minions. You're using Captain Marvel. You're using Minerva. No, you're using Korath. You're using the named character, not the minions.
I don't even remember the last time I used KREE Reaper for anything.
You unlock Nick Fury with her, and then done. You never use her again. That's pretty much it.
Yeah, nothing.
All right, these are going to get more controversial here. M'Baku. Now, they did just get announced for the Greek raid, so they're going to have a little bit of value, but I think you can pretty much get through that with Shuri and Killmonger. I don't think you need a high M'Baku unless these are really hard. Also, Chaos Theory. Huh?
Pimtech. You're going to end up doing Pimtech is probably what's going to happen anyways.
I think so. I think I'm going to end up using Pimtech. So I don't know if you need to really invest in the Wakandans. And once you finished Chaos Theory, you need 0 resources for the rest of these Wakandans because his kit is bad, even on a full Wakandans team. There was always something missing with it. Never got a rework. People were wanting a rework. What do you think of the odds at this point of the Wakandans getting a rework to be that premier raid team that they were supposed to be?
Well, there's gonna be another Wakanda movie, right? And then if that happens, but I'm sure that the focus is gonna pivot to Shuri, right? Yeah. And we'll see. Not a fan of, and I'm guessing if you put a M'Baku on this list, you probably put OKOYE too. I mean, to me, they kind of go, it's the same conversation.
Let's see. Oh, you are right. She is next on the list, OKOYE, for the exact same reason. I don't use these characters. I don't know if I'm planning to use them too much in the Greek raids. I'm not going to invest any more resources than what I had to them. Like a same like M'Baku. Get them up, get their stars up for the Chaos Theory. Other than that, I don't see much use for them. Even using them in the Greek raids. What are your thoughts on OKOYE?
I don't use them. I mean, Wakandans was the biggest miss probably in this history of the game as far as what we thought they were going to do, and then they never did it. I was surprised you even put any ISOs on this lady. I'm surprised you even did anything.
I put one. And most of my characters at level 1. Most, not all, but OKOYE, disappointing character. I wanted her to be so good. Remember when she was in the data mines, how good her kit was?
Attacked so much, and she assisted more. It was something.
It was amazing. It was like one of the young Avengers, just giving so much turn to Black Panther. It was crazy. I think she gave him offense up, and then she assisted on every kill. It was a really good kit, and then she got released in the game, and this is the kit we got, and it's just kind of missing something, kind of like M'Baku. All right, and that is 10. What do you think? What do you think of the list? And I know there's some controversial picks at the end.
The list is trash.
They're all trash. Don't build these characters up.
Good list.
The Wakandans, yeah. Like I said, once you're done with Chaos Theory, don't put any resources in them at all, because they're pretty trash. And that is it, my friend. Just make sure you guys go check out OhEmGee's list. I'm almost thinking, what should I call you? MobileGamer, Mobileboomer, no boomer, mobile.
I'll probably have to change my channel name to back to MobileGamer or something.
Well, the links will be down below. The links will be down below, so you can check out his channel and see his list. We had the same topic, but very different lists and very different criteria. I think we used in our brains.
Well, I threw in characters that are potentially going to be reworked, or at least it's highly likely they're going to be reworked. So you may have a better list as far as the long term, where they're not going to be good.
Maybe we will see. Only time will tell, my friend. Thank you guys for joining us. If you enjoyed this video, subscribe. We are shooting for 35,000 guys, so tell all your friends. Click that notification bell. Lots of Marvel Strike Force videos every single week, guys, and I will see you guys next time. OhEmGee, give me a hug fist bump before you go. OhEmGee ValleyFlyin out.
Trash.
Woo! Trash.